if Charles Manson was a cult leader because he was really hot. Same logic. I just smacked my keyboard. Shit. Yeah, it's time. I love this music, peoples! Welcome back to Asagao Academy Normal Boots Club. Sorry, we skipped last week. And also, the last episode, I apologize. After watching it, I realized that the music, the game sound was way too loud. You could barely hear me. And I went in to the sound settings, fixed that, hopefully fixed that. It already to me, in my headset, it already sounds better. So, we're getting ready to meet the normal boots, guys. I had to cut things off earlier than I wanted to on the last episode. But this week, hopefully we'll actually get somewhere. The cafeteria was buzzing with students excited for the new year. I'm minimizing this crap. The only people as nervous looking as I felt were the tables of skittish, wide-eyed first years. I stepped into the line behind Mai, taking an empty plastic tray. We shuffled through, asking for helpings from the sulky cafeteria workers when we passed something that looked good. With full trays, Maya led me straight to the table in the back where a few students were already sitting. Mai sat down and I took a seat across from her. Hi Mai, how was your break? Oh, meeting a new character already. It was good. I went to Italy and Spain. Dad fell off a ski jet and broke his ankle.
Uh-huh.
It's better now, though. Oh, well, that's nice. I expected to be introduced, but the girl turned back to her group of friends, and Mai turned back to me. I forgot that Mai is just a very excited, bubbly, overly happy, cheery type of character. She began to assault her food with a fork and tell me in I cannot speak. No can speak, he's good. Minute by minute account about her fleeting romance last summer with a boy she met on the beach that didn't go further than a few salty kisses. I sat back and let Mai talk. For the first time since arriving on campus, I felt like I was finally able to breathe. I picked at my Brussels sprouts and studied Mai as she spoke. Brussels sprouts! Your parents aren't here. You don't have to eat that nasty crap. The more she talked, the more I began to notice small details about her.
Well...
She had a high songbird voice.
What?
She was dynamic. Her face was twisting this way and that into exaggerated expressions as she spoke. She laughed often. She imitated people in wildly unflattering voices, seemingly unrelated to her actual opinion of them. But most notably, she talked. A lot. We've all had this friend that just blah 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 blah, doesn't shut up, and is just bubbly and cheery and happy and just so overly animated. I don't know if y'all peoples can hear that, but my neighbor's dog is yep 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 yep. Almost on cue, just like Mai. Mai is my neighbor's dog. Yep 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 yep. I didn't find this particularly annoying as it filled the silence and she hardly ever asked questions that required my full attention. Just as Mai was rounding off a shockingly detailed account of the time she accidentally walked in on her friend's older brother in the act of changing, a flash of familiar green caught my eye. I glanced over. Hey, that's him! Huh? Who? I leaned across the table to whisper just in case he could hear me through the ambient chatter of the lunchroom. The boy from the train, it's him!
What?
Jared? Yeah, with the weird green jacket and swoopy hair. He just picked up his tray and was walking past us when something seemed to catch his eye. It's Edward Cullen! Oh, you. I looked up at him, suddenly realizing he was talking to me.
Hana!
I met you on the train. How are everything settling down for you? Really well. I found my roommate and she's been helping me out. I gestured to Mai, who was thunderstruck. In fact, looking around, everyone was. People stopped eating to turn and stare at Jared and me. My shoulders bunched around my cheek. Well, if you ever need any help, I'll be around. 3rd year, right? I nodded.
All right.
Some of my friends are in that year. Of course, they can't compare to me, but I'll give them the heads up to look out for you. He flashed a dazzling smile, then winked. It's the least I can do for such a cute girl. Aww. Look at Mai. She's just like, whoa. Well, I'll see you around. I watched, a torrent of thoughts raging in my head as he took a seat next to a bunch of guys who were all wearing the same green jacket. That's Jared! She tore her eyes away from him and looked at me.
He's so cute.
He's the most beautiful guy in school. She tore her eyes away.
He's so cute.
Yeah, you just said that.
Oh, Jared.
I can't believe he just looked at me. I looked at Mai. Her cheeks were glowing in an indecent pink. Why do they all wear those jackets? Aren't all the guys supposed to wear blue blazers as part of their uniform? No, they're allowed to wear... They're allowed to. They're... You know Jared? The girl turned back around and was looking at me with a sudden interest. Did I know him? I only talked to him on the train for a few minutes, so not really. We weren't friends or anything. But looking around, Mai and this girl weren't the only ones who were interested. Everybody seemed to be listening in. They seemed so surprised when he talked to me. Maybe a little white lie couldn't hurt. Okay, first choice. I think honesty is going to be our best policy here. I don't really know. All I did was talk to him on the train, so I'm going to be honest and say, no, I don't really. She looked me up and down, sniffed, and turned away. Maya leaned towards me. Don't mind Mimi. She was just trying to get in with you. Get in with me? Why? Well, you asked me about those guys in their jackets, right? Those are their normal Boots Club jackets. They're what? What's normal Boots Club? It's a club we have at school here. It's like totally exclusive and full of only the coolest students. They get together and play video games. Or something. This is awesome! That one right there is John, also known as JonTron. His bird's name is Jaquez. John is also the president of the drama club here at school. Next to him is PPG. He and John founded the Normal Boots Club together. PPG is one of the best soccer players on our team. Thus, PPG stands for Peanut Butter Gamer, and he's freaking awesome. I'm actually going to link his channel in the description because he is the one that I think I'm going to be going for. Then there's Gerard. People call him the completionist. Yes! Because he's obsessed with completing things. He has the biggest itty-bitty kitty collection I've ever seen. His channel's freaking awesome too. I would be going after him because he's my favorite of all the Normal Boots guys, but the way I found out about this game was on his channel and I watched his review of this game, which means I know his route and how it ends, and that wouldn't be very interesting to go to play through a route that I already know how it ends. Next to him is Jared, also known as Pro Jared. He's a model. Then there's Stash Bag, but everybody calls him Stash. He's like crazy smart. Those guys over there are Paul, Nick, and Josh. They write a column in the newspaper called Continue. Paul, the one standing up, is the student council president. And the guy on the end there is Shane. He knows more about video games than anyone, ever. She exhaled a dreamy sigh into her mashed potatoes. So, how would someone, join the Normal Boots Club? You don't choose the boots, Hannah. The boots choose you. What does that even mean? You have to be presented with the boots to be in the club, and they're like super selective. What are the boots? The club has this boots statue. It's like the one on their patches, but it's gold plated. It's their mascot, I guess. They do this weird initiation ritual with it. Ritual? I hear they fill a room with candidates and wear those totally creepy robes during initiation. This 2-year girl, she said she saw it once, and they were all, like, chanting around the boots, and it sounded like they were talking backwards. I call bullshit. But I don't believe her. And even if it's true, I don't care if they're a cult, because they're all really hot. Okay. That's a little bit of a dangerous way of thinking, because, let's see. I don't care if Charles Manson was a cult leader, because he was really hot. Same logic. I just smacked my keyboard. Shit. Yeah, tons of friends. Stop it. Most popular kids in school. I mean, everyone in the school totally looks up to them. I bet they could get any girl in school, too. Or boy, for that matter. Hey, are you gonna eat your cake? I shook my head and pushed the plastic tray across the table to her. For the remainder of lunch, I listened to Mai talk about Jared through mouthful of half-dissolved frosting. So I'm guessing Mai really likes Jared, so I'm definitely not going to be going after Jared. I think I'm going to stick with my original plan for going after Peanut Butter, because if you know that your friend likes someone and you actively go after that person knowing that, then that's kind of a dick move. So I'm gonna be nice. I'm not gonna go after Jared. Models are a little bit full of themselves anyway. I don't think I'd like him. Back at the dorm, I sorted through the pile of textbooks the school left for me. My radio was playing a poppy tune, equal parts music to static. Mai fervently scribbled in a notebook at her desk, hunched over it with a strikingly poor posture.
Hey!
Hey, Mai. She didn't bother to look up. Am I supposed to have a textbook for History 309? She shuffled through the papers on her desk before producing a thick textbook. A demure man in a powdered wig frowned at me from the cover. Yeah, this one. I sighed. I don't have that one. The school must have missed it. Mai shrugged and set the textbook back in her pile. They have a bunch at the library. You can just check one out. Where's the library? Mai riffled through her notebook and wrote something down. She tore the page out and handed me a crudely drawn map. Oh, okay. Well, I'll be back in a little bit. My nose itches, peoples. It took me at least 20 minutes to find the library. By the time I realized I was holding the map upside down, the sun was setting. The library was much larger than I expected. The walls lined from floor to ceiling with books of all sizes on rough wooden shelves. Intimidated, I headed for the front desk. So she got lost trying to find the library. Hannah is starting to sound more and more like me all the time. A recognizably green and gray jacket was bent over the counter. Normal boots? I briefly considered running away.
Hey.
It's Satch! Can I help you? Too late. Yeah. The school forgot to give me one of my textbooks. I was told I could get it here. Which one is it? The History 309 textbook. He stepped from behind the counter and motioned for me to follow. We dodged between the aisles in a comfortable silence. He seemed friendly enough. I should say something. what was his name again? Shane? Gerard? John? No, not John.
Satch.
Yeah, Satch. Huh? Oh, you work here? Of course you work here. He chuckled, dimples appearing in his cheeks. Yeah, I'm the librarian's assistant. It's my second year and I love it. I get to help people find books that speak to them. His eyes twinkled like a kid's on Christmas. Your book's right down here. He stopped at a row of thick, dusty books. Was this all history? And pulled out a book with the powder wig man I saw earlier. Thanks. He waved his hand. It was nothing. Do you need help with anything else? I wanted to make a good impression on the Normal Boots Club, but I couldn't come up with anything. No, thanks.
Copacetic.
You're welcome. As we headed back through the cavernous library, my unease melted away. We weren't talking, but just being near him felt like being wrapped up in a soft blanket. I resisted the urge to snuggle up to him. Good, because he's not yours. You want peanut butter. We neared the front desk, stepping around a clump of studying students. As we passed, one of them shifted. Something white flew past my face. A thick piece of triangular paper lay at my feet. I bent over and picked it up. It was surprisingly heavy. There was a quarter inside of it. If I was just a hair slower, it would have hit me in the face. The student snickered, and I recognized the boys that made fun of my hair this morning among them. My heart dropped. I scanned my memory for anything I might have done to offend them, but came up with nothing. My hand started to shake, and I hid it behind my back, trying to think of some way to defend myself. Why did you do that? Huh? What do you mean? We're just messing around. Are you suggesting we did it on purpose? Well, yeah! There was nothing I could say. I was outnumbered. They would twist my words around no matter how straightforward I was. No, sorry. Fucking pushover. Okay, Hannah's not me. Okay, maybe she's like the way I was in like junior high. I inched closer to give it to him, angry at myself for being so compliant. I wish I were. A gentle warmth closed over my hand and took the paper from me. Satch examined the paper closely. I see what the problem is. Your aim would be better if you cut the corners before you folded it. He placed the paper on the table. The boy looked at him in sheer awe. Be careful, though. You almost hit her, and that would have been awful. My hands began to sweat as panic shifted through me, afraid of the response. But, geez, we're sorry. We'll be careful next time. Yeah, it was an accident. They apologized? Thanks, I appreciate it. Okay, I might be changing my mind. Okay, he gave them a wide smile and continued off down the aisles. I followed closely behind, my legs weak. Don't tell me they stopped because of him. Simply because I was with him? I wanted to thank him, but my heart was pounding so hard I knew my voice would shake. We reached the front counter and he scanned the history book. My lips trembled as I willed myself to say something, anything to thank him. He tilted his head to the side. What books do you like to read? Fiction? He chuckled. You making fun of me? I just finished a good book. I think it'd be right up your alley if you don't mind me saying so. He reached under the counter, pulled a thick green book, and passed it to me. A man in black stood on the front, hugging a woman in royal robes. It's long, but it's one of my favorites. The Princess Betrothed. I know things can be tough transferring to a new school. If you're ever worried, just read this. It'll transport you 100 miles away in a second. Aww, he's sweet. Tears stung my eyes, so I ducked my head.
Satch.
Thank you, Satch. For more than just the books. You're welcome. Oh, sorry, didn't think to get your name.
My name is Hana Mizuno.
Hana.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Hana. Let me know if you like the book. I will. That couldn't have gone better. Not only was Satch impossibly kind, but being around him felt easy, refreshing, like being doused in the midst of a waterfall. Oh gosh, what was I thinking? My cheeks hot, I left the library, two surprisingly heavy books under one arm. I settled into bed, eager to get started with my new reading material, but Mai was sitting at her desk, carving a pencil idly into the pages of a notebook. Every few minutes she released a long, drawn-out sigh as the lead of her pencil whined against the paper. I lowered my book and took the bait. Is something wrong, Mai? She let out another dreary sigh. I hope Jared notices me this year. Does Jared know you like him? Mai whirled around in feigned shock.
What?
I don't like Jared. Oh. Ugh. I closed my book and set it aside, deciding to play along.
Well...
He thinks that us protest too much, Mai. Well, have you at least tried talking to him? No. I mean, I have before. Why don't you try again? She bobbed her head from side to side, considering things like it never crossed her mind before. Yeah, maybe I could do that. Satisfied, I picked my book back up. Have you ever had a boyfriend, Hannah?
What?
Me? No, never.
Really?
Really? Never? Never. I bet you 10,000 whatever money symbol that is, that you meet a totally cute guy here and fall in love by the end of the school year. You're crazy! Even though she already has. In the library. I buried my face back in my book, barring Mai from any further discussion. Fall in love with a boy by the end of the year. Me? If I were a betting kind of girl, I'd take that bet. I woke the next morning with what felt like a lizard in my throat. I've never heard that analogy before. I've heard frog in the throat, never lizard. But I was already up, shuffling through her school bag with an enigmatic grin. The first day of school.
Hana!
Honey, you're finally awake. Oh, she's a morning person, too. I hate morning people. Her voice sliced through the air like a knife, and I winced. She was definitely a morning person. It's time for the first day of school. Aren't you excited? I can't wait to see what's going to happen. What do you mean? Is something special happening today? Something strange always happens the first day of school, especially to someone like you.
What?
Someone like me?
Uh-huh.
Pink-haired shy girls? You know what I mean. No, I don't know what you mean, Mai. Explain yourself. She smiled and started messing with a pile of papers on her desk. Shaking my head, I got out of bed and pulled my uniform out of my closet. My palms sweat as I held the gold vest and blue jacket. And we can play for a little bit longer. Was it really possible for things to be different here than they were at home? What if the problem wasn't actually the school? I shook the thoughts out of my head and changed into my uniform. Oh. Huh? What is it?
Aww.
You look so cute!
Really?
Heat crept up my neck.
Yeah!
Yeah, completely. Your hair matches your uniform so well. You look like a flower blossoming straight out of the ground. Thank you. Water stung the back of my eyes and I turned to start packing my backpack. Why is Hannah always on the verge of frickin' crying? She's crying over nothing. Once again, me in junior high. Hannah is a junior high Hawaiian right now. Why I was getting worked up about something as little... Why was I getting worked up about something as little as this? I must have gotten less sleep than I thought. Is something wrong? No, nothing's wrong. I'm just happy. How dumb was that? I started crying at the first sign of someone being nice to me. I took a deep breath to steady my nerves. What an oddly menacing laugh. All the air left my lungs as something like horse hooves slammed against my back. You'll do just fine. Don't worry. This is going to be awesome. You should just push me, bitch. I stiffly peered over my shoulders. That was you?
What?
Huh? Mai stood behind me, her hand raised. Somehow, she had the strength of a bodybuilder. Nothing. I was just about to zip my bag up when I spotted the book Sash gave me lying on the nightstand. The Princess Betrothed. He said that if I ever needed to be transported somewhere far away, I could take it with me. It was pretty good so far. Maybe it would be smart to bring it along, just in case I had no one to talk to between class periods. Would I need it for my first day of class? Just in case. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it, so take it. I put it in my already overfull bag, biting my lip. It never hurt to be prepared, right? You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
What? Ah!
Yeah.
Okay. Apparently you can scroll up and down and go back to... I just learned that on accident. Stick with me and you'll be fine. Mai opened the door and together we stepped into the hallway, merging into a steady flow of chittering girls and fruit-flavored perfume. That's Mimi! I don't like you, Mimi! Oh my! I did not know we lived on the same floor. No way, really? That's so awesome! Now we'll be able to catch up. Whatever happened between you and... The river of girls shifted as we headed down the stairs. Suddenly, I found myself surrounded by a bunch of people I didn't know.
What a jerk.
Oh wow, what a jerk he turned out to be. Mai's exclamations faded into the buzz of voices in the air. Oh no. What would I do if we got separated? Anxiously, I searched the crowd of girls for Mai, but I couldn't find her. Everyone was dressed in the same Asagao uniform. It was difficult to tell anyone apart, and being so short really didn't help the situation. Okay, Mai has bright red hair, like mine, that I just recently cut and colored, like I said I needed to do in the last episode. I finally did it! So she has bright red hair. How can she not freaking stand out like a sore thumb? As we turned the last corner down the stairwell, I saw a flash of red hair a little ways in front of me. Mai? I reached between two girls and tapped on her shoulder. Nope, that's not mine. I guess there's more than one fire engine redhead. Who are you? The girl's eyes flashed, almost like a jolt of electricity shot through them. I'm sorry, I thought you were someone else. She said nothing and turned away. Before I knew it, I stood outside of Primrose's house, watching the flow of girls disperse across the campus. Mai was nowhere to be seen. I couldn't even hear her chirpy voice. Oh man. I took a deep breath, biting my lip. This wasn't a big deal. I could go to class alone. No, you got lost on your way to the frickin' library. But I didn't even know where the building was. I reached into my backpack and dragged out my class schedule. Homeroom. 206 Poppy Hall. Is everything named after flowers? So we have Asagao, Primrose, and now Poppy. Everything's named after flowers, I'm going to assume. And Hannah, here's what I would have done. If you know that you're as directionally challenged as Hannah and I are, you're gonna go and find your classes the day before. That's what you go find your classes. Especially if you know that you're as directionally challenged as this. If you don't even know where the building is. So if you get lost, it's your own fault. Which one was Poppy Hall again? Weren't the classrooms on the other side of campus? I picked a direction and began to walk, trying to ignore my rising panic at the thought of arriving late to the first day of class. That's why you go find your classes first. As a third year where no one knew me, all of the people were staring. Hey, you okay? You look a bit lost. Someone called out to me and I turned around, almost jumping for joy, when I froze. A Normal Boots jacket. He was part of the Normal Boots Club. I could practically feel my tongue swelling in my mouth. If this was a Normal Boots Club member, I had to make a good impression. He was one of the founders, right? Then he must be JonTron! Yes, I'm new. I don't know where Poppy Hall is. You're a freshman? No problem. My class is in Poppy Hall. I'll take you there.
Really?
Really, that would be wonderful. Thank you. Was this really happening? He began walking towards a large brick building in an enthusiastic manner, pumping his arms up and down like he was in some kind of show tune. I fell in step behind him. I didn't notice it when Mai pointed him out to me yesterday, but JonTron had big brown eyes and warm-looking face. He was basically a human puppy. I glanced up at him out of the corner of my eye. A bird? A bird on his shoulder. Birds always made me uncomfortable. Something about the ease with which they could poke out someone's eyes. Is something wrong? Why'd you stop? No, nothing's wrong. He followed my gaze to the bird on his shoulder.
Hey!
Oh, this is Jaquez. Isn't he cute? Yeah, beautiful. Adorable. Jaquez speaks. Nice to meet you. It spoke. Yeah. He put his hand up to his shoulder. Jaquez jumped into his palm. Jaquez is a robot bird, see? Hello! Jaquez's eyes gleamed a dangerous red when he spoke, but nothing else suggested he wasn't a normal bird. In fact, if I hadn't known better, I would have said the red in his eyes was painted on. That's amazing. Jaquez twitched his head to the side, examining me in return. The more he looked at me, the less afraid I was. So an animatronic bird is staring you down and you are put at ease. No, that's more creepy than if it was actually a real bird. The more he looked at me, the less afraid I was. What are you looking at?
What?
Nothing. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, Jaquez can be a little sassy. Ugh, that's creepy! Oh, that's like some Five Nights at Freddy's level of bullshit. Who are you calling? I'm skipping his dialogue. I don't like that bird. Jaquez, that was one. Okay, I have to know what he said. Who are you calling sassy? I'm not the sassy. That was one time. I was alone and starving in the frozen tundra of this empty world, loveless, afraid. Ignore him. I've been bringing him with me to the drama club, and he's taken a little too well to it. He's going to overthrow the drama club. He's going to peck your eyes out, and he's going to be the new president of the drama club. I see how it is. Shut me out like I have nothing to add to the conversation. You don't. You have freaky, glowing Five Nights at Freddy's eyes. Jaquez took his place on John's shoulder, this time facing away from us as he miffed. We resumed our walk towards Poppy Hall. I'm JonTron, by the way. Call me John. Nice to meet you.
Hana.
Hey, he thinks I have a cute name. Well, thank you. So how long have you had Jaquez? Since middle school. We've been together for 4 years now. Ain't that right? I'm not listening. Yeah, well, I love him to death. I don't know what I'd do without him. It seemed like life would be a lot easier without him, but who was I to say? We arrived at the brick building. A white sign surrounded by poppies declared it to be, unsurprisingly, Poppy Hall. Which room are you in? Room 206.
Really?
Seriously? Yes. That's my homeroom. We're in the same class. Oh, shit. I better not have to sit next to freaking Animatron, Jontron and Animatron right here. John left and clapped me on the shoulder. Don't freaking touch me. Get you and your bird away from me. Wonderful. I guess I'll be seeing more of you then, right?
Yeah.
Right. Together we entered Poppy Hall. Poppy Hall was lined with fluorescent lights and Asagao blue lockers. The lack of students milling around the hallway indicated we were a bit late. We ran up the stairs and made it into the classroom just as the bell rang. Whew! Nothing like making it just in the nick of time. My heart caught in my throat. Thankfully, the teacher hadn't come yet. Instead, students clumped into tight pools and milled around the classroom, catching up on vacation
John.
news. Thank you so much for showing me to class, John.
See you later.
No problem. I'll see you around. Get away from me with your bird. He waved and disappeared into the wiggly mass of students. I glanced around the room looking for an empty seat.
Hannah!
Anna! There's Mai! Thank you, Mai, for sticking with me like you said you would. It's nice of you. Mai peeled herself out from between a cuddling couple. Was that Jontron? Were you just talking to Jontron? Yeah? Mai's eyes widened, and I couldn't help but feeling a little smug. I realized I didn't know the way to class after you and I got separated, and he offered to walk me. I emitted a high-pressured squeal. Jontron walked you to class? Oh my gosh, you have to tell me everything! She grabbed me by the wrist and pulled me into the empty desk in the back of the corner of the room, right next to the window. I saved you a seat. I slid in and took off my backpack, hooking it up on the side of my desk. I was a little bit worried. The books inside were too heavy for the bag to handle, but so far it held up well. Sorry we got separated, by the way. It can get a little chaotic sometimes. So, tell me, what happened? What did he say? What did he smell like? Does he have peach fuzz? Is it rough? What? These are very important questions I'm asking. You need to answer them. Was his hair super silky, or did it have roughness of a dog's coat? Before I could answer, the door to the front of the room slid open and a tall woman strolled in. The class went quiet and obediently slid into their seats. Thank God! Saved by the bell. My heart beat furiously, blood rushing through my ears.
Class?
Good morning, class. Oh, she looks like a bitch. The teacher's melodious voice slammed through the room, calming the buzzing high of the students back from break. My shoulders relaxed and my fear ebbed away. I am your teacher, Shizuka Wakahisa. It takes me a second to get it takes me reading it a couple times before I'm able to say those names. You may call me Miss Shizuka. Miss Shizuka. That will be much easier than your whole damn name. The emphasis she placed on the word led me to believe that calling her Mrs. wasn't a mistake we should take lightly. Some of you might have noticed that we have a new student this semester. A hail of murmurs passed through the class. Some people glanced at me. Oh, fuck. I hate it when teachers do this shit. Nope. There was fear again.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to come up and introduce yourself? No, I would not. Thank you very much. I nodded, stood, and slowly walked to the front of the room, counting my steps to make sure I wouldn't fall. I faced the class, took a deep breath to introduce myself, and noticed a familiar face in the crowd. There's Peanut Butter! And who are you again? And Jontron, and who are you? And Peanut Butter. There was John sitting with two other boys wearing normal Boots Club jackets. One of the boys, the tallest one, was staring at me, the barest of frowns on his face. Why are you staring at me like that? I ain't knew nothing to you. Something about him seemed really familiar. Wait, he was PPG, wasn't he? The other founder of the Normal Boots Club. Suddenly, all the all the strength left my knees. What should I do? Why was he frowning? Was it possible that I already made a bad impression on him? You had to be kidding me. If he didn't like me, what did he mean? What did that mean about everybody else? Would they follow his lead? I swallowed. The faces of the class began to congeal, forming one giant blob. You moved from a... whatever that word is. I cannot speak good today. You moved from Amari Risu, right? I nodded and swallowed again. I know I do much better at pronouncing Japanese names on Full Metal Action News, but that's because before I record, I read it like 7 or 8 million times to make sure I have the pronunciation down. I don't get that luxury here. I'm doing the best I can. Then, like a beacon of light, I noticed Mai smiling and giving me a thumbs up. That's right, what would Mai do in this situation?
Yes, I've just moved here. My name is Hana Mizuno. I transferred from Amirisu Public High School. I'm really excited to be here. I hope you'll all take good care of me from now on.
I'm really glad they read that part for me. I bowed my head to the class and they clapped politely. When I looked up, PPG wasn't frowning, but he still seemed oddly confused. Maybe he always looked like that. Thank you. You may be seated. I returned to my seat, having a small sigh. The hardest part of the day was over. Okay, peoples. So what the hell is up with PPG? Am I gonna have to deal with the freaky bird anymore? And I guess we will answer those questions and discover new questions and more next week on Asagao Academy on Mon Games. But if you don't want to wait a week to see my silly face, tomorrow is Terror Tuesday. Yes, every time I say tomorrow is Terror Tuesday, I never get to upload a Terror Tuesday. And that's a long story as to why that I'm not going to tell you right now. You will find out tomorrow. Bye-bye. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to stop talking. Bye-bye.